I want to ask a question. Are you loyal to yourself? I want you to I want you to think about that, but at the same time, I'm going to talk about something that I think needs to be talked about, okay? And I kind of wrote a lot of this down, so I'm kind of like I got bullet points and stuff, right? Are you working are you do you are you truly do you truly care about yourself? So much so to the point that you're starting to question the things that you're doing on a daily basis. Because for me, that's what I've been doing, questioning the things I do on a daily basis. Because that's just how I am. I question everything. So, what I mean by that is that when we were born, as an American, this is for Americans specifically, right? If you were born in America, this is a question you need to ask yourself, right? Did you ever agree? Did you ever agree to the system that you were born into? Right? Did you ever agree to it? Did you ever agree that this is the system that you wanted to live in when you were a baby? That's an obvious answer. No, you didn't agree to this. You didn't disagree and you didn't agree. You were just born, right? And this is true for everybody on the planet. Everybody was born somewhere, which means that because they were born in that certain society, they are automatically expected to live by those society's rules. But who says that you have to agree with those rules, right? You didn't sign a contract that said you were going to agree and you were going to follow these rules to the T. Right? You never agreed to that. I'll tell you who did, though. I'll tell you, at least in American terms, I'll tell you who did. And if you're smart enough, you know what I'm about to say. Immigrants. People who immigrated. People who from other countries decided to live in America. What did they have to do before they got here? Obviously, they had to be a citizen. They had to take their citizenship test. They had to agree to things. They, in a sense, are the true Americans. Because they agreed to the contract. They agreed to live here. They wanted to live here, right? They chose here to live. Some people didn't choose because they were refugees from other countries. They had no choice. But at the end of the day, they had to get their citizenship. At any point in time, they could have said, "Nah, I don't want to do it," and went back. But as an American, as a person who was born in America, you never made that decision. You never made that decision. So why are we acting like we made the decision, right? Why are we acting like, as American citizens, that we agree to this system? We didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree to this capitalistic system. I know I didn't. I was born here. I was forced against my will to be born in America. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's not even against your will. I was just born. I was just born here. I had no choice in the matter, right? You didn't have any choice in the matter. If you were born in America, you didn't have a choice in the matter either. So, with that being said, why are you going to work today? I just want to ask that question for everybody. Why are you going to work today? Right? If you really disliked the guy that's in office right now, I'm not going to say names because I don't know if any social media is going to start taking stuff down. But if you don't like the guy that's in office right now, and he's obviously going towards a dictatorship and oligarchy, right? Don't you think it's a good idea to stop going to work simply because you going to work is giving him more reason to continue to do what he's doing? People are still waking up every day, going to work, living their lives as if nothing is happening. All we really have to do as working age citizens is to stop going to work. The economy is going to drop, right? He did that already. So why don't we do it? Right? Stop production on everything. Electricity, food, water, all of it belongs to the people and not the oligarchy and not the guy in office right now. That's for sure. It doesn't belong to him. He's not the one that's making this stuff. He's not the one that's putting this stuff into production. We are. So what's the issue? We had parades, we had quote unquote riots that were being faked, right? We had fake riots, right? We had regular parades. The No Kings parade was amazing. But that's all it really was, a parade. To show that we didn't like what the guy in office is doing right now. But if we really wanted to enact change, all you people who went to the parade should not be going to work. Right? We can still go out there and fight. And we can still go out there and, you know what I'm saying? Stand up for what we believe in. Go out there physically, do all the stuff. But work specifically, you don't have to go to work. You don't have to. Like, I generally don't think you have to go. The situation right now is so dire in the country to the point where I genuinely believe that I don't think it's worth it to go. Because what are you working for? What are you working towards? Where are you trying to go with this? You know what I'm saying? With this job, where are you going? If the country is on the verge of war, why are you still going? Anyway, right? We're avoiding the most obvious way to dethrone the president because it'll uproot our own lives as well, right? A lot of people don't want to stop going to work because they don't know what else to do. Like, they don't know what else to do outside of going to work. And that's the sad part. How far are you willing to go to protect your own peace? Right? Like, truly, how far are you willing to go to protect your own peace? And what does peace look like to you specifically? Is peace really going to work every day, working for a government that doesn't care about you as a citizen? Like, just objectively, they don't care about you as a citizen. That's the point of the system. They don't care about the citizen. They care about the money that the citizen is giving them. It's nothing to do with the person. It's not about humans. It's not about people. It's about cogs in a machine. Yet we're still going to work as if we're not the cogs in the machine. If your peace requires a dictator to be in office, that's not peace. That's obedience. It's that simple. I don't care what you think you're doing. The legal system is broken. The economy thrives off of your suffering, off of you being the cog in the machine, off of you going to work every day and acting like nothing is happening. The system keeps going. So Trump and the guy in office keeps winning because you keep going to work. Right? There's a better way to live. There is a better way to live. But you have to fight for that. Right? You have to be able to go against the grain to say, nah, I don't want to do that. It's that simple. We've been taught to be used, right? We've been taught to be the cog in the machine. We've been taught this mentality of being the cog in the cog in the machine. The mentality, the way people talk, the way people use words is very important. The way people are using their words to talk about certain things is very important. Right? People find new ways of thinking, but all they're really doing is just using the same baseline of being a cog in the machine. You just find a new way to be a cog in the machine. You make a new business, you're just helping the system. Cause you know what I'm saying? Unless your business is a non-profit and you're trying to help human beings, it's going to benefit the top 1% every time, because the top 1% owns 90% of the companies in America, right? We've seen what it does to people. We've seen countless homeless people, countless. Yet you still go to work acting as if I'm not gonna be one of those. That wouldn't happen to me. Right, it wouldn't happen to you. But those same people had the same mentality when they were on top of their game, when they were younger, and when they weren't homeless. They said the same thing. They thought the same thing. It wasn't gonna happen to me. But yet it did. So what are we doing? The social and economic system wasn't made for you to have a good time. It was made to use you like the tool that the top 1% thinks you are. They think you're a tool. They think you're nothing but a cog in the machine. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying, you keep acting like you're a cog in a machine, you're going to be a cog in a machine. Stop trying to act like you're a cog in a machine. You're not. You're a human being. There is no... You don't need to do things for other people that you are not blood related to or not connected to physically. If you haven't seen them in person, if you haven't interacted with them in person, talked to them, then why are you working for them? I'm just saying. You're going to these jobs. You're going to a job that pays you $16.50 an hour. The person that owns the company is making well over $100K. Well over $1 million. Personally, I don't see how that makes any sense at all. I'm the one with the boots on the ground talking to the customers. I should get paid the most. I should get paid more than a CEO. Technically, no. Actually, no. I don't want to get paid more than a CEO. I actually want everybody in the company to get paid the same amount. The same amount. Everybody. They get paid the same amount. A livable wage. A livable wage for everybody. Nobody should get paid more than another. Why should the CEO get paid more than the person who is dealing with the customer daily? The CEO is not dealing with the customer. The CEO is dealing with other businesses. So, the same system in the past deemed slaves as legal. Yet we still engage with the system like it's not doing the same thing it's always been doing. It still treats people like slaves. They're still slaves. You're going to work and you're acting like you're doing this on your own volition. No, you're not. You're doing this because you want to get paid, so you can have food and water, so you can have a roof over your head, so your family can be taken care of. That's not a good reason to go to work. That is a humanistic reason to make your own food, to catch your own water, filter your own stuff, right? You can do that all at home. You getting a piece of paper to go buy it at a store doesn't change anything. It actually makes it more complicated for no reason. As a people, as American citizens, I think we let ourselves get so used to the daily grind that it made us complicit to everything. We're so tired. We ran out of empathy. There's no empathy left because people are so tired from going back and forth and dealing with people at work. Like you just stop caring. And because you stop caring, what you do? You go home, you scroll to get a little bit of dopamine in your system because you don't get dopamine in the real world. Because you're working every day. How does that make any sense? How is that fun? How is that... If you're so damn tired, then don't go to work. Do what you want to do. Go outside, talk to people, create some artwork, make some music, anything that reignites your soul, right? And I'm doing this. I'm writing this down because I feel like I don't do this often. I don't. Y'all know this. If you follow my content, you know I don't do this. But I think this needs to be said because I am sick and tired of seeing people and talking to people and hearing their side and hearing that they're still being led by being a cog in the machine. The machine doesn't care about you. Why are we doing this? Is the real question, right? We, the people, have the most power, but also are the most easily influenced by someone with metrics that can't be proven. It can only be bought and sold. Not only, but it can be bought and sold. If the system itself can be bought and sold, then why are you taking it like it's legitimate? I can buy 1 million followers right now if I have the money. Does that make me more legitimate than somebody who has 10 followers? No, we're both human. One of us has the capital to buy that 1 million followers, to fake like we've made it. It's by design. It always is. The system doesn't want you thinking outside the box unless that box is inside of another box inside the systematic box that you live in. Just if you have to go back and listen to that again, do it. Because I really need you to understand this. Okay? The system, right? The system that you live in, the social system that you live in, the economic system, the financial system that you live in, doesn't want you thinking outside of the box. Unless that box is inside of another box, inside of another systematic box that keeps you stuck as a cog in a machine. As humans, we have specific needs that must be respected. Food, water, shelter, and community. 4 things, right? 5 if you add healthcare. But to be fair, that should be a part of community. But you can add it as a 5th. America's propaganda wants you to separate from your culture to win the game. But that game was not made to be won by all citizens. Only the extremely lucky and well-connected. People have been saying exactly what I've been saying for years. I want y'all to understand. People all over the world, people all over America have been saying these exact same things that I've been saying. So I don't understand why more people haven't caught on to this. Or if they have caught on to this, they're so used to the daily grind that they can't even think of a way to even get out of the cycle. Really, it's simple. Just don't go to work. The system was made to force everyone to play the lottery. You want to be successful in the system, you got to play the lottery. Why should I have to play the lottery to pay for food on my table? You were basically, as an American citizen, you were born to be a worker bee. You were born to die a worker bee. There's 70, 80-year-old people. My grandma is 60-something years old right now. She was working her whole life. Yet she's barely getting a dime from the government. She's been working at the same company for years. Yet that same company who's making billions of dollars can't offer up some. Okay, right. That makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know about y'all, but I've never agreed to these terms. I never signed a contract as a baby. I didn't sign a contract saying I was going to follow all these rules. Right? You didn't sign a contract. You were just born here against your will. And you were expected to follow the rules nonetheless, even if the rules were bullshit. Right. Okay. But you, like I said before, in the beginning of this video, you know who did sign a contract to be here though? Immigrants. People who came from other countries to live in America. People who got their citizenship because they wanted to live in America. Those people actively took the time and effort to take the classes, to go to school, right? to sign the contracts that says I will now be a legal citizen of America. And what's happening to those same people right now? I'm just saying, none of this country, the system that this country is built on has nothing for us. It's not for us. It's not for, you know what I'm saying? It's not for that. Right? You want to see how America truly works? Look at how people that the country likes. For example, people who were from other countries, like, for example, Jewish people, right? I don't hate Jewish people, but they did benefit a lot from being in America, that's for sure, right? They came here, Asian people as well, right? They got a bunch of money. Asian people didn't get as much as their white counterparts, but they still got more money than black people did, even though black people were forcefully brought to the country, right? Those people came over here, wanted to get away from their country to live here, and they were able to start companies. They were able to start a business. And I just don't understand why we feel like we need to engage in a system that doesn't care about its own people. It only cares about immigrants. And even then, right now, the immigrants are being kicked out. Who does the country really care about? I want you, if you're watching this, I want you to ask yourself this question every day. Who does this country really care about? Because it sure ain't the citizens. It sure ain't the immigrants. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. Like, we gotta do better, because I'm tired, I'm sick, and I'm tired, and I'm angry that we're letting ourselves be this influenced, right? As people, you should care about yourself so much to the point that you don't even want the system, the country that you live in, to treat you wrong the way that you've been treated in the past 400 plus years. I don't know. That's all I got. Figure it out.